13 years ago, a baby-faced Alex bought a 1976 Datsun 240Z. We engine swapped it, we wide-bodied it, and we did just about everything we possibly could do to a car for the first time. It was the car that made me start the Wisconsin Car Enthusiast Club when I was 19. It's what made me launch a YouTube channel called Automotive Millennial in 2016. And it was the only car I regret selling when I moved to Appleton when I started working way back when at that wheel company. It's why when I learned that this car desperately needed a home, I wanted to try it all again. This is my Series 1 Datsun 240Z. And it may not look like much from the outside, but I promise there are some secrets hiding on the inside. But we didn't just buy this because I wanted a Z again. In fact, as it sits right now, this car is probably more expensive than our junkyard Ferrari F430 project. But I was okay with that because of Chad. I want you to imagine a time where the phrase affordable sports car wasn't as mythical as a non-rusted mid-2000s Subaru at a Wisconsin Target in January. I want you to imagine a time where rock and roll rolled through the speakers of a Pioneer deck, debauchery of all kinds, reaching new heights in the back of cars, parks, and even buses. I want you to imagine a time when anti-government rallies that brought to light the realization that maybe politicians don't really care about us. And domestic cars, well, at least back then, they were kind of Enter the Datsun 240Z, an inline-six coupe that pioneered what it meant to have a reliable sports car from Japan. And it was developed in part by many successful people, but by one person that was above almost all else. And his name was Mr. K, or Yutaka Katayama. He was the one that knew that Americans were gonna drive this car substantially more than any Japanese person, which is why he sent 2 mules over to the United States and put over 12,000 miles on each across the country so that they could get experience on how this car would actually drive. He knew that the back of this car had to have enough space to put groceries in it, and he also wanted to make sure that this car could meet somebody's need to being their only car. The Z was the car Porsche owners traded in because it was so good. In the 70s, this car revolutionized what it meant to have a car that had space, reliability, the fact that it was actually fast, and the fact that this did so well that Americans started to realize that British unreliability wasn't something that you needed to put up with to have a sports car. It's why the slogan, "Dare to be different," became everlasting in the Datsun slogan when it came to the United States. When your grandparents looked at a Z, or in this case, Chad's own family, and it worked. You see, this Z I've known for about 2 years now. Every single time I went to Driver Motorsports in Virginia, I saw it collecting dust, like it was on the verge of going to the scrapyard. But it can't, because it has too much history. So this is Chad, the man who owned this Series 1 Datsun 240Z. And you might be asking, Alex, what even is a Series 1Z? Good question. The Series 1Z was the earliest Model 240 you could get from October of 1969 to about July of 1971, nearly half a century ago. The badges are on the rear quarter panels instead of the side. The trunk has 2 vents that inadvertently let gas fumes into the car, and it's got a very lovely short VIN that starts with the chassis code S30. Now, Chad and his family have owned this car since 1975, where the low mileage coupe had seen Chad's uncle Steve, an admiral in the Navy who was responsible for the management of the A6E Intruder, drive this whenever he could. If that's not a clear depiction on how influential this car was to the American market, I don't know what is. Chad, it is so good to see you, man, and I appreciate you coming on board and letting me record this conversation, man. This is a car that means a lot to you, means a lot to your family. It also means a lot to me because I feel like I've been chasing it down for years, and I finally got somebody to tell me that I could buy it, and I'm so freaking excited.
Sure, yeah, nice to be here, Alex. Thanks for having me. And yeah, so I was the former owner of the 1970 240Z, the Series 1 unicorn, the mythical unicorn that does exist that has not rusted to the ground. And yeah, I was working on a project with Driver to do that car. It was actually a gift to me from my uncle. So I graduated high school, and that was a title in hand to the car when I graduated from my uncle, who had let me kind of steward the car through a couple of years of ownership because he couldn't actually keep it where he lived. So kind of I'm a 3rd generation owner. Now you're the 4th. So my uncle Steve gave me that car.
Chad's uncle was a 6'4" 24-inch behemoth of an American who would spend his weekends at home in this car.
So he loved the car. Like I'm talking, I mean, and Steve was like 6'4". He was a giant dude. Like he was 6'4", 6'5" guy, you know, rear admiral in the Navy, just bigger than life, right? The modern day Maverick for the A6 Intruder platform. That is what he flew on the carriers. But you would have never envisioned someone like that guy just being like, man, I just love Z cars, and let alone would fit in the Z car. So it was amazing. I think the reason they love the car so much is the fact that his 6'5" frame could fit in it.
Chad would have it gifted to him after graduating high school because his uncle couldn't give it enough love.
To be able to do that, and like it, and you said, what did it kind of mean to me? It was really a family, part of our family. So you talk about family members or dogs or pets, right? So it's like, oh, the Z, that's with your family. Oh, your uncle has that one. Now you do. That's just part of your guys' family is this car. So I would dare say it's a family heirloom. You know, I don't know if we want to get quite that sentimental with it, but it definitely is a big piece of our family up until the point where you know, we're kind of changing hands here with it. But
his aunt, who knew the car just as closely, would also experience similar cancer issues. So for the last 26 years or so, Chad has owned it.
It was kind of like, yes, I don't care if it doesn't have AC, but I fit in it. It's long, and I can work in and operate and, you know, blast it and feel like I'm not in the jet today, but I can be in the Z, right? So it's kind of one of the things that I think it just fit him so well. And he was meticulous. Like he just took such good care of the car, and the records you'll see when you get the book. I mean, the book that he had was like this, man. He just had stuff in it that it didn't matter if it could be a wiper change. He had a receipt, he had the invoice, and it was like, this is how he did things. So really cool. Yeah, it's it definitely is a special piece of our family's history. And again, stewardship's a word I use a lot because that was really, I think, what early on, because I was young when I first took that car. Like, I mean, I had it in our possession. I was probably 16, right? So I mean, my uncle said, hey, the next best thing is for you to have it, and I can't keep it where I'm at. And then to say, you know, I was 18 when my uncle said, you know, here's this car, it's yours. Especially to him, how much it meant to him, knowing how long that he had it and how much he took care of it, and a part of his history. For him to, you know, trust me with that at 18 was like, I mean, wow. You know, it was really, really special, because that's not something you just typically hand an 18-year-old, you know, the title to and the keys and say, hey, I trust you with this. And honestly, you know, it was, you know, much to him as like you know, like a kid would be to him. It was like his baby, right? You know, he just, you know, how he just kind of every once in a while, hey, don't forget it's a really rare car, and the hood vents on the rear hatch, you know, that's only in the 70s and the Series 1s, and it's low digit VIN, and I'll buy, you know, the clock. If you need something fixed, I know where to get that done at. And you'll see some of the books that he had and the ins and outs of whoever could fix anything for the car, whether it was mainstream or this guy that would live in like Southern California. He had a guy, like he knew somebody.
Chad is a great human. He raced Centuries when he was young, has a beautiful family, and wanted to revitalize the car that he grew up with as it started to slowly descent into oblivion, also just known as what it's like to own a 80s or 70s Nissan.
Well, I kind of took two different routes, because it was pretty much original for the most part, you know, with some modern day things. I mean, changing spark plugs and things that just keep it running. But for the most part, you know, the car was really, you know, pretty much original. For the most part, it was very much how it came off the line, and he was proud of that, because I mean, he honestly didn't think it needed anything. I mean, it's a great looking car. I think even today, some of the best body lines on a vehicle, even from 1970. You can't, there's nothing that really challenges it. When you see them on the road, there's just, that car looks so iconic even today. I mean, just to tell the story of that body shape, how well it's gone through history. It's a great looking car even today. So I didn't want to change that with it, but I wanted to make it more modern to where it was, I could get into it and I could start it whenever I wanted. Very much just reliability was a big thing for me. Just get up and rip down the road with it if I wanted to. But then I also had like some autocross and SCA background that I just, you know, had a B15 Central I used to rip around in at autocross. So I wanted to track the car, right, for you. So that's how I got hooked up with Driver. And it came off of them. I think they finished the red GTR. So it's been like 3 or 4 years ago. They did a red GTR ground up, and they had a build series on, and it was amazing. Like, they did such a great job. I'm like, man, these guys are legit.
And that's where we meet it, at Driver Motorsports. With an engine misplaced and glass somewhere spread around the shop, there's signs of a finished car around here somewhere.
And I called Chris, And I said, hey, well, are you interested in trying to go through this process? And we walked through a couple calls, and he's like, yeah, man, let's do it. That was my heart, because I wanted to drive. I don't want it to be a garage cleaner, right? I mean, that car is meant to go out and just go. Like there's nothing better than hitting the road, especially where I'm at. I've got great country to drive. That's what the car is meant to do, is to drive. It's not meant to be sitting in a garage and just collecting dust. It's going to shows. It's ripping down to the local track or whatever, because that's what that car was made to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason that it kind of got to the point where it was with me today, or obviously now to you. But I wanted it to be more than just something you looked at that was cool. I wanted it to actually go out and do something what it was designed to do, which was race.
But why did Chad sell it?
Yeah, life, man. You know, I think everyone goes through seasons in life that it challenges them, and unfortunately, the things that kind of drop off are the toys in our lives. Yeah, life in general. So the big one for us, I think, a couple years ago, is my son got diagnosed with type 1. So that was a big challenge for our family. He's my middle one. He's 12 now. He's doing great, but you know, that was a big change in life for us in general, not only for him, but just having to do that. And then literally, like, I guess September that same year, I got diagnosed with bladder cancer.
I'm sorry, man.
So that has been something that we never had no signs. You know, I'm only 41 and no family history of that. And it really shocked us. And, you know, I'm doing fine now, but that's still, it was a setback that really challenged us. You know, I had to have a couple surgeries there and some treatments to kind of help get over the road with that. And it's something I'll have to kind of deal with over time. But just things just start smacking me, right? And you get, life in general, and then it's just some things are just not priorities anymore. And it was like you get to this the spot, like you really want to do something, and you've been able to get it, you know, so far, and it's like, man, life takes over. And
it's like it's home. And I guess that kind of just leads me to my final question, I guess, is, you know, we've got a few months that we're going to be kind of putting our nose to the grindstone on getting it finished. And our goal is to try and see if we can get it unveiled at Seaverville in, I think it's end of September, early October. And I was hoping, if we do get it done, would you like to come unveil it with me so you can see it for the first time?
I'll be there. I'll be there with my shirt on or whatever, and rep the Z finished. And yeah, man, we'll celebrate together that it sees completion for its next evolution of life, from where it used to be to where it is going to be there at the show. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm in.
Hell yeah. I appreciate that, Chad. And thank you so much for trusting me with it, man. It means the world. I know that this is, a lot of times people buy and sell stuff, they just try to make money. That's the way the world works. I get it. But this car, I think, means a little bit more to that. So I just wanted to say thank you. And thanks for hopping on the call with me, man.
Yep, no problem. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the progress, and I think it's going to turn out great, man. I'm excited for you guys and your business to have a great piece of history that there's not much history of those left, right? So again, it's go back to that rarity aspect, that there's just not much of those left. There's Z cars, but there's not many of the Series 1. So you've got your needle in a haystack to really go out and set the world on fire with, I think, with your organization too. So that's cool. And you love the car. That's what's even better. So you really are passionate about it. So
appreciate it, man. All right, well, mission accomplished for you. I'll keep you posted on how this goes, and I pray to God that I can get it done. But I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right, talk to you later, Chad. But I don't want this to just be me buying a car. This isn't a rush or a challenge to transform it in 24 hours. This is not a video that's gonna make you think that I'm turning this into something other than what I think it was originally intended to be. My hope is that you and I can become the stewards of this car, a car that has meant so much to me since I started getting into being a car enthusiast. Now, there's a few things that we have to do to get it right, and hopefully it will be ready in time to show you all at Slam Enough Gatlinburg this year. There's an RB26 hiding in the hood. There's an S15 rear differential in the back. There's some hidden big old brakes hiding underneath the old teardrop 4-lug Nissan wheels that we have here. And if you peek inside, I'm not sure there's much left of the original upholstery, but these are all things that Chad wanted to do. And these are all things that I would love to help finish. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And I hope you're enjoying what will be probably my most exciting build to date, which is restoring a Datsun 240Z. And if you're about it, I'd love to have you come along with me. So please don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next week as we start diving into this thing and learning all the things that are good about it and maybe a couple surprises.